Welcome back to the deep dive. We are wading right into the fog today. We're looking at one of the most famous and, frankly, one of the most terrifying character studies ever written, William Shakespeare's Macbeth. And I have to say, that lit or not audio intro really set the mood perfectly.
Oh, it really did?
That sense of creeping dread is exactly what we need, because this isn't just a play about, kings and swords. It's a horror story about the human mind.
It really is. It's a psychological thriller before that genre even existed. When you peel back the layers of the text, you aren't just watching a guy kill a king.
Yeah.
You're watching the complete disintegration of a personality. It's fast, it's violent, and it's so incredibly internal.
That's the thing that always gets me, the speed of it. You have this central question that the text essentially screams at you. How does a man go from being a noble partner, a hero who just saved his country, to a dead butcher in what feels like a handful of days?
Right.
That transformation is what I want to unpack. Because he doesn't start as a monster.
No, and that's the tragedy. If he started as a villain, it would be boring. The mission here is to track how vaulting ambition effectively acts like a virus. We need to look at the psychology of guilt, the way the definition of manhood gets weaponized, and the deceptive nature of fate itself.
So let's get right into the mud, the inciting incident. We open with thunder, lightning, and the three witches. And right away, they drop that famous paradox. Fair is foul, and foul is fair.
Which is such a great line.
It is, but it effectively flips the moral compass of the entire world upside down before a single human character even walks on stage.
It does. It signals to us and to Macbeth that you can't trust your eyes. What looks good, like a promotion or a prophecy, might actually be foul. It just creates this atmosphere of moral confusion.
And when Macbeth and Banquo walk out of the battle and meet these witches, that confusion starts instantly. The dynamic between Macbeth and Banquo here is fascinating. They both get these wild predictions. The witches hail Macbeth as Thane of Glamis, which he is, Thane of Cawdor, which he doesn't know he is yet, and King Hereafter.
And then Banquo.
Then they tell Banquo he'll be lesser than Macbeth and greater, and that his kids will be kings. But their reactions are totally different. Banquo is cool, he's skeptical, he calls them instruments of darkness.
Banquo represents reason. He knows that evil often tells us small truths to trick us into huge disasters. But look at Macbeth. The text describes him as rapt.
Spellbound.
Yeah, totally spellbound. And what's really telling is that his very first internal reaction isn't joy, it's terror.
Right. He says his heart is knocking against his ribs, against the use of nature. Why be terrified of being king unless...
Unless he immediately realized how he would have to become king.
Exactly.
That is the key insight. The prophecy didn't say kill Duncan, it just said you'll be king. Macbeth is the one who instantly fills in the blank with murder. The witches might have struck the match, but the gasoline was already sitting in Macbeth's mind.
He's already imagining the assassination before he's even left the heath.
Absolutely.
And then the trap snaps shut. Messengers arrive. They tell him he's been named Thane of Cawdor. The first part comes true. And you can see the logic error he makes. If A is true, then B must be true.
But he needs a push.
He needs a push to cross the line from thought to action. Enter Lady Macbeth.
The catalyst.
We first see her reading his letter. And I love that her immediate worry isn't that Macbeth is incapable or that the plan is dangerous. Her worry is that he's too nice. She thinks he's too full of the milk of human kindness.
Which tells you everything about her worldview. She sees kindness not as a virtue, but as an obstruction, something in the way.
A weakness.
A total weakness. She needs to purge that humanity to get what she wants. And this leads to, in my opinion, the most disturbing speech in the play. Her prayer to the spirits.
Unsex me here.
It's so visceral. She isn't just asking for courage. She's asking to be stripped of her gender, which she equates with softness, compassion, and remorse. She wants her blood thickened to stop the flow of guilt. She wants her mother's milk turned to gall.
To acid.
To acid. She is effectively asking to become a sociopath.
It's a total rejection of nature, and it works. When Macbeth gets home, he's wavering. He's looking for an exit ramp. He says, "We will proceed no further in this business."
And he has good reasons.
He brings up legitimate reasons. Duncan is his cousin, his king, his guest. Plus, Macbeth is popular right now. He wants to enjoy the golden opinions he just earned.
And this is where Lady Macbeth masterfully manipulates him. She doesn't argue the politics. She attacks his identity.
She goes for the throat.
She weaponizes his masculinity. She basically says, if you were a man, you'd do it. If you don't do it, you're a coward.
That speech she gives about the baby, is the moment I think the audience realizes just how far gone she is.
Oh, yeah.
She says she would have taken her own smiling baby from her breast and dashed its brains out rather than break a promise the way he's doing.
It's a grotesque image, and it's designed to shock him into submission. And it works because Macbeth's insecurity is his need to be seen as the man, the soldier, the doer.
And she just twists that.
She equates violence with manhood, and that definition is what destroys him. He agrees to the plan, get the guards drunk, kill the king, frame the help.
So night falls, the castle is quiet, and Macbeth is alone, waiting for the bell to ring. And this is where the psychological horror really kicks in. Before he even commits the crime, his brain starts breaking. He hallucinates a dagger.
Is this a dagger, which I see before me, the handle toward my hand? He knows it's not real. He calls it a false creation of a heat-oppressed brain.
But he can't look away.
No. And the dagger starts dripping with blood. It's his guilt manifesting before the crime. It's leading him to Duncan's room.
He does the deed off stage, which is such a brilliant move by Shakespeare, keeping the focus on the reaction, not the gore. But when he comes back, he's completely shattered.
A wreck.
He's rambling. And there's this specific detail he fixates on that I find so tragic. He heard two servants wake up. One said, "God bless us," and the other, "Amen." And Macbeth tried to say amen, but the word stuck in his throat.
That is the moment of spiritual severance. In that culture, being unable to say amen means you are cut off from grace. You are damned. And immediately following that, he hears the voice crying, "Sleep no more." Macbeth does murder sleep.
We talk about sleep a lot in modern wellness, but here, sleep is the balm of hurt minds. It's the only way we process trauma. By murdering sleep, Macbeth is ensuring he will never, ever have a moment of peace again.
He's sentenced himself to a waking nightmare.
And we see the immediate difference between him and his wife here. Macbeth looks at his bloody hands and says all of Neptune's ocean couldn't wash them clean.
No, in fact, his hands would turn the green seas red. He understands the magnitude of the stain on his soul.
Whereas Lady Macbeth is pragmatic to a fault. She just says, "A little water clears us of this deed."
The irony of that line is just devastating. A little water. She thinks it's just a physical stain. She has no idea that she's going to be the one scrubbing her hands for eternity later in the play.
So Duncan is dead. Macbeth is crowned. But the happiness he expected is nowhere to be found. Instead, it's just paranoia. He's sitting on the throne, but he's terrified. And the focus of his fear shifts to his best friend, Banquo.
Because of the prophecy. Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. Macbeth has done all the dirty work, damned his soul, given his eternal jewel to the devil, all to basically act as a placeholder for Banquo's kids.
He can't live with that.
Can't handle that. It makes the sacrifice completely meaningless.
This is where we see the shift in Macbeth's character.
Yeah.
With Duncan, he needed his wife to push him. With Banquo, he hires the murderers himself.
He doesn't even tell Lady Macbeth the plan.
No. He tells her to be innocent of the knowledge. He's isolating himself.
He's becoming the tyrant. He's moving from hot blood, crimes done in the moment, to cold blood calculation. But the guilt is still eating him. When the murderers kill Banquo but let his son Fleance escape, Macbeth is just trapped in his anxiety.
He says his mind is full of scorpions.
And those scorpions come out to play at the banquet. This is the public unraveling.
Oh, it's a disaster. He's hosting all the lords, trying to look stable, and then he sees the ghost of Banquo sitting in his chair, and nobody else sees it.
It's the ultimate manifestation of his isolation. He is literally seeing his sins staring back at him. Lady Macbeth tries to gaslight the room. Oh, he's had these fits since he was a kid, but she can't control him anymore.
He's just screaming at an empty chair.
It screams guilty to everyone in the room.
After this, he decides he's done with hesitation. He says, "I am in blood stepped in so far that should I wade no more, returning were as tedious as go o'er."
That is a chilling realization. He figures, I'm already going to hell. I might as well go all the way.
So he returns to the source, the witches. He wants certainty. And this is where the witches play their cruelest trick.
They show him apparitions that are designed to make him feel invincible.
First, they tell him to beware Macduff. Okay, fair enough. But then they tell him, none of woman born shall harm Macbeth. And finally, that he won't be defeated until great Birnam Wood comes to hide Dunsinane Hill.
To a medieval mind, to any mind really, this sounds like a guarantee of safety. Everyone is born of a woman. Trees don't move.
Right. He hears this and thinks, I'm untouchable. He thinks fate is on his side.
But because he's still paranoid about Macduff, he decides to send a message. And this, for me, is the point of no return.
Absolutely. Macduff has fled to England, so Macbeth attacks his castle. He doesn't just burn it down. He slaughters Macduff's wife, his children, everyone.
This is distinct from the other murders. Killing Duncan was political. Killing Banquo was strategic paranoia. Killing Macduff's family is pure nihilism. It serves no purpose other than to inflict pain.
It's the act of a dead butcher.
Yeah.
He has lost all connection to humanity.
The scene where Macduff finds out is just heartbreaking. Ross delivers the news, and Macduff is stunned. All my pretty ones, did you say all?
And Malcolm, who is trying to rally him to fight, tells him to dispute it like a man.
And Macduff's response is one of the most important lines in the play. He says, I shall do so, but I must also feel it as a man.
Yes. It completely reclaims the definition of manhood that Lady Macbeth tried to destroy. She thought being a man meant being unfeeling. Macduff says being a man means owning your grief, your love, your vulnerability.
It's the moral counterweight to the Macbeths.
And while Macduff is grieving, Lady Macbeth is finally paying the price for her suppression. We move to the sleepwalking scene.
The woman who said, a little water clears us of the steed, is now walking the halls at night, rubbing her hands raw, trying to get a damn spot out.
It's the return of the repressed. All the horror she shoved down has just bubbled up. She's reliving the murders. Duncan, Lady Macduff. She asks, who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him?
She realizes that her little hands will never be sweet, not even with all the perfumes of Arabia. She dies, presumably by suicide, crushed by the weight of what she created.
And Macbeth's reaction to her death, it's not tears, it's exhaustion. He delivers that famous tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow soliloquy.
This is the philosophical rock bottom. He looks at life and sees it as a walking shadow, a tale told by an idiot full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
It's not just that he's sad his wife is dead. It's that he realizes all his ambition, all the blood, all the stress, it was for nothing.
Life is a bad play, and then you are heard no more.
But he still clings to the prophecy. He's waiting for the end. And the end comes with a clever tactical maneuver. The English army cuts down branches from Burnham Wood to hide their numbers.
So as they march, the wood moves to Dunsinane. The first impossibility becomes possible. Macbeth realizes the witches palter with us in a double sense. They use wordplay to trap him.
But he still has the woman-born card. He meets Macduff on the battlefield. They're fighting. And Macbeth is almost cocky. He tells Macduff, don't bother, you can't kill me, I lead a charmed life.
And Macduff drops the hammer. He reveals he was from his mother's womb untimely ripped.
Which is the Jacobean way of saying a C-section.
Exactly. In the strict, legalistic language of the prophecy, he wasn't born naturally, he was removed. It's a loophole.
And in that moment, Macbeth sees the whole cosmic joke. He's been played.
He has. But, and I have to give him credit here, he doesn't beg. He knows he's doomed. Hell is waiting for him, but he refuses to be captured and humiliated. He says, lay on, Macduff, and fights to the death.
It's a flash of the old warrior he used to be right at the end. But the outcome is inevitable. Macduff wins.
He cuts off Macbeth's head, mirroring the traitor's head Macbeth likely cut off before the play started, and order is restored. Malcolm becomes king.
The circle closes. We went from a legitimate king, Duncan, to a tyrant, Macbeth, and back to a legitimate king, Malcolm.
And Shakespeare makes a point to show the difference. A king builds up. He talks about measure, time, and place. A tyrant destroys. He creates chaos. The fog is finally lifted.
It is such a dense, heavy ride. We've watched a hero dismantle his own soul, piece by piece.
And that leads to the big takeaway for me. It's a warning about unchecked ambition, sure, but it's also about susceptibility.
That's the thought I want to leave everyone with. We blame the witches for starting this,
Yeah.
but did they really dictate Macbeth's fate? Did they force his hand?
Or did they just whisper a suggestion to a mind that was already looking for an excuse to break bad?
If he was truly a good man, would the prophecy have mattered at all?
That is the question that keeps us coming back to this play 400 years later. Are we the masters of our fate, or are we just waiting for the right push?
Something to think about the next time you get a too good to be true offer. A huge thank you to the Litter Not Materials for guiding us into the darkness today. It was a blast unpacking this.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Catch you on next Deep Dive.